Mini singing tips by Singing Technique.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you've been here before, spit on my mouth. Today, finally, 7 months later, here for you with another episode of Mini Singing Tips, episode 25 to be exact. But wait, before we get into this, I have to share something with you real quick. Something really amazing. On FIVERR, where I'm getting my most singing clients from, my beloved singing students, I am now FIVERR's choice for vocal coaches and voice teachers. So flipping awesome. I actually am about at 150 reviews, only 5 stars, which is something that I want to show off real quick. Join the Singing Technique gang. This is the perfect time to join the online classes that I actually have always been offering. So I'm kind of ahead of the time. And I still have a couple of free slots. So if you want to get into my classes, check out the links below. Check me out on FIVERR. And now we can continue. Today with a big question that a lot of my students actually have, at least the professional ones that have gigs already. The question is what to do when I can't hear myself on stage or in band practice. So that is actually a scenario that happens a lot. Sometimes the monitor speakers are not loud enough. And first of all, you don't want to be one of these people that is going like this to the mixing person. Looks like you're freaking crazy. So specifically if you're already in the middle of your song, you can't really do that. I mean, sometimes it's so bad that you have to give a sign to the sound engineer. If you do that, just be discreet. You can maybe do like this. Or the best case scenario is that beforehand in the sound check, you make up a little sign with the sound engineer. You go like this or something so that he knows if he sees you doing that, whatever the sign is, that he has to turn up the monitor speakers a little bit for you. Your own voice in the monitor speakers. The other scenario that happens to me a lot is when you're in band practice, there's no sound engineer and the band is fully like... I mean, everybody gets all excited in the band practice and stuff, so... It's a little bit hard to get through sometimes as a singer because a lot of times the instrument players don't really understand how it is as a singer and that you have to hear yourself and that there is one point where you just can't sing louder anymore. And if you turn up the mic louder, it just goes like, you get feedback and stuff like that. So what do you do when this happens? This is a very common problem. And if you're a beginner and you don't know that this is actually a real problem, try it out yourself. Try to sing without hearing yourself. There's actually a challenge on YouTube that is called exactly that, trying to sing without hearing myself. And you will see that it's pretty hard to sing on key when you can't hear yourself, other than if you're a pro like me. Now, 3 things you can and you should do. Let's start with the cheapest trick and go to the best trick. The first one is you can hold your ear when that happens. This is actually the reason why you see a lot of singers doing that. Specifically, Mariah Carey used to do that a lot. They hold their ear to hear themselves better because as soon as you hold your ear, try it right now, talk and do that, you can all of a sudden hear yourself better and you mute the sound that comes from outside a little bit. At least. That is very annoying though. So some people put in like an earplug. You know, the ones that drummers use, these like squishy little things. I personally don't like them at all because I kind of feel like this when I put them in and it kind of hurts my ears. I don't know why. I just was never able to use them. So you can do that. So the second thing you want to do is definitely stick to your vocal apparatus position as hardcore as you can. The key here is that you basically have a choreography that you learn. It's like a dance choreography that at one point you can do with closed eyes, right? You don't have to look at yourself or look in the mirror in order to do this dance choreography. It becomes a choreography that you can basically do in your sleep. That's really the way it is. And I hate saying that, but this is something that just comes along with practice. And I suggest practicing recording yourself and putting on headphones and imitating this situation. Turn up the headphones so loud that you can't hear yourself and you practice singing quietly. Practice singing on key even though you can't hear yourself. You just stick to your volume and you just don't get louder. Definitely not yell and not scream, okay? Because this is the big problem here. What we do is that when we can't hear ourselves, we start screaming and yelling and we get louder and louder and our voice just like gets hoarse and whatnot. You completely forget your technique and all of that stuff, and all of a sudden you're hoarse. Because one of the problems why we start singing off key and specifically flat on key, like a little bit lower than the original key you're supposed to sing on, is because we start yelling and your voice box moves up and all that stuff. As you know from my other videos, that's not where it's at. In order to avoid that, you gotta stick to your volume. The trick here is that if you stick to your volume and you just sing quiet, guess what? The sound engineer will react, the band will react, and they will turn you up a little bit. Do not try to oversing and to yell and to basically get suppressed by all of the musicians around you. Now, number 3, the very, very best thing to do is get yourself a pair of in-ear monitoring. I know it might be a little bit pricey. There's also cheap versions and cheap options of that, kind of cheap options, but it's just the best thing you could ever do because you have yourself and the band in your ear. You can just regulate it from the get-go that your voice is just a little bit louder. And guess what? It has the same effect like I just said with number 2. If somebody can't hear you, they will fix it for you. Trust and believe that. So in-ear monitoring is just the best trick of all. And that's already it. These are the 3 things you can do if you can't hear yourself. So I hope this was helpful, guys, like it was helpful for my students. Okay, my camera just died. Like I said, feel free to sign up for online classes via video chat with me. Links are all below. If you have any questions or ideas, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check the links. There's awesome stuff to discover, like these awesome Razorback shirts. And as always, much love to everyone. Stay focused and have a blessed now. Mwah.